Welcome back to another Ret Paladin video. Verabin here. Today we are doing a brief guide on Mythic Plus for Dragonflight Season 2. We're going to talk about the new affixes and what those mean for Ret, talents, stat priorities, and more. This video is sponsored by Factor, but more on that later. So for Season 2, there are 3 new affixes to be aware of. Number 1, Afflicted. This means an afflicted soul is going to spawn. It's going to cast a spell that needs to be interrupted. It's going to reduce our haste by 100% for 10 seconds. This cast can actually be stopped either by healing the afflicted soul or dispelling a poison, disease, or curse that the afflicted soul actually has on them. Ret can easily deal with this by talenting into cleanse, and so you just select the afflicted soul and you're going to cleanse on it, and that's it. The second affix is called Entangling. This spawns a plant that's going to slow everybody by 30%. When you move 10 yards away from the plant, it's going to stop that slow. But if you're a Ret Paladin, you can just use Blessing of Freedom. Remember, with Unbound Freedom, you can clear yourself and another player's debuff here, so use that to your advantage. The third affix is called Incorporeal. It's going to cast a debuff that reduces damage and healing by 50%. These can be interrupted, but if you just use an interrupt, it's only going to immediately recast the debuff, so you don't really need to interrupt it. However, they can actually be stunned or blind, or you can just kill them. Because they are all mob types, they can actually be stunned with Wake of Ashes. Before we get into the talents, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Factor. Factor is a meal delivery service that offers convenient, healthy, and affordable meals to keep you focused on gaming and spending less time preparing food. For the month of May, when you use the link in the description, you get 50% off your first order, and it directly supports the channel. For talent choices, I'm going to link the talent build that I run in the description of the video. It's a little bit different from the basic Ret Mythic Plus talent build, so let's take a look at some of those changes. On the Paladin tree, I take 1 point in Fist of Justice because I really like the increased number of stuns. Stuns can DR in Mythic Plus really quickly depending on your tank, but it still feels good to have Hodge up more often. I take Unbound Freedom since it gives a slight movement boost, and with the Entangling affix, it's actually going to be very helpful. I just genuinely enjoy Divine Purpose more than the Hammer of Wrath gameplay, so I run that instead of Vengeful Wrath. It also enables me to spend fewer talent points in the bottom, and I can move those talent points up to get Unbound Freedom and Fist of Justice. On the Ret tree, because I skipped out on Vengeful Wrath, I can also skip Adjudication. I'm a big fan of High Lord's Judgment as it makes managing the Judgment debuff a lot easier. With Blessed Champion, you will always have the bonus damage up on most enemies, and with the 4-piece tier bonus coming in, that is going to be a critical part of our damage in Season 2. This build focuses on AoE damage, but also has strong single target with Vanguard of Justice and all of the Radiant damage focused abilities down the right side of the tree. For stats, Ret has always favored a balanced stat distribution, and with the 10.07 rework, that hasn't changed a whole lot. Depending on your current allocation of stats, you can obviously min-max those by using a tool like raid bots. In general, though, higher item level is going to trump secondary stats because of how well strength scales. After that, versatility is an extremely good stat because it benefits us both offensively and defensively. After that, crit and haste are about equal, and then mastery. In the past, Mastery was extremely strong for us, but because of the 10.07 rework to Mastery, it's fallen down the priority list quite a bit. Also, I personally just like how high haste feels, so I usually prioritize haste as much as I can. Having those faster GCDs and having our generators come off of cooldown faster is going to make our gameplay a lot smoother. So any haste verse piece of gear is really what I'm going to be going for, and what I'm going to select for secondary stats on crafted gear. If you'd like another video on DPS rotation or other aspects of Ret Paladin and M+, let me know in the comments below. Another big shout out to Factor for sponsoring the video. Don't forget to click the link in the description to get your 50% off your first order, only good for the month of May. Hush that like button, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
Yeah.